to the UNI Financial Literacy Club. This is the place that we created to provide education to you without being sold. And so what's happened over time is we've brought in educators to do that. So I want to start out tonight simply introducing some of the people that will be coming into the club this semester to supplement what I'll be doing in the first hour. So, before I go into some of the details of the club, I'd like to introduce one person. She was a former financial advisor, a former life insurance agent, and she's currently an estate planner. She's going to be providing us insight into the financial industry, information you probably will never get outside this classroom. Tracy Freeze. Next up, a lady who is a mortgage banker. She's going to be providing us insight into the mortgage business, how to buy a home, process of it, as well as credit scores, how to build a credit score, how to develop credit. I'd like to introduce Connie Moyer. And the third person, it took me 49 years to find him. An honest, ethical car dealer. And I found him, and his name is Marty Rouse. So, as this semester goes on, I'm going to be providing information to you, and you're going to see a lot of me. So before I get into some of the details of the club, I like to basically answer questions you would have. Because if I was in your spot, I would be asking, who is this guy? And the best way for me to explain that is to tell you my story. I grew up in Iowa, like many of you. I survived high school. I joined the Army in a cold November day in 1982. And I left with a high school diploma. But what I did not leave with is a financial education. I was financially dumb, and I was entering the world. Well, I survived my Army training. I went to my first duty station, and I started living like the rest of my friends lived. I winged it. I got my paycheck, I spent whatever I had, and I tried to save what was left, which usually wasn't much. But I lived that way for a while. One day, a supervisor came up to me and she said, what do you do with your money, Michael? And I thought that was an odd question. And I said, I spend it. She said, well, I invest my money, and I can introduce you to a financial advisor. He can help you. What do you think? Would you be interested? I thought about that. I said, sure! So she took me to this financial advisor. He was a sharp-looking fella. He had a very nice suit, beautiful tie, nice slacks. He started educating me on this investment world, talking about mutual funds. Within a short period of time, I was signed up. I was investing into the stock market. Feeling pretty good about myself. Before I left the office, he introduced me to one of his colleagues, a life insurance agent. And he started educating me on this thing called a whole life policy. It was part investment, part insurance, and it sounded wonderful. Well, I left that office an investor in stocks and insurance. I was going to be rich! Or so I thought. Well, fast forward a couple years. I have a different boss in a different location. And my new supervisor rolls up in a brand new truck. And it looked good. It smelled good. You know that new car smell. We were looking at it. We were enjoying it. Supervisor was very proud of his new vehicle. And he said, you know, Finley, I can get you a deal. I know the salesman. What do you think? You want me to take you down there and show you around? I said, sure! And I went down to that car dealership, and as many of you will be able to understand, as soon as I stepped on that car lot, that salesman was on me like mud on a pig. Whoosh! He quickly sized me up, figured out how much I made on a monthly basis, what I could afford for a monthly payment. And before long, I was driving out the lot with a brand new vehicle. I was living the American dream. Or so I thought. Fast forward now, a couple more years. I'm in Germany. A friend of mine comes up to me. He says, Finley, I hear you invest your money. I said, yeah, I do. Kind of felt like a big shot, you know. He said, you're the only one I know who does that. Can you teach me? I said, well, yeah, I suppose. So he came over that night. He asked me a whole lot of questions. I didn't have any answers. And as my friend left, no smarter than when he came in, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was still financially dumb. I was 25 years old, and I didn't like how that made me feel. So the next day, I go to work. Instead of going to lunch with my buddies, I went to the bookstore. Now, I didn't know what I was looking for, but I thought there had to be something that could help me. And lucky for me, I found this book, Wealth Without Risk, by Charles Gibbons. Started flipping through the pages. Didn't really know what I was looking at. But I said, what the hell? I paid the lady $20 at the counter, and I took it home, and I read it. Yeah, not so much. More like skimming. The truth is, I was financially illiterate, so most of this information didn't make a lot of sense. But there were a couple points in the book that did, and Charles Gibbons taught me the biggest point I've ever learned about personal finance. And it's the point I want you to take away today. Even if you discount everything I have to say, focus on this point. Charles Gibbons taught me, I am the answer. My financial life is up to me. If it turns out to be a mess, it's on me. If it turns out to be this beautiful masterpiece, it's on me. That was a big point in my life. Nobody ever told me that I could do it. He told me I could be my own financial advisor. And you know what? I believed him. So the next day, I read that book again. It took about a week. Then I went and read another book, and another. What I was doing was I was increasing my financial education. My financial IQ was going up, one book at a time. And it took months. This wasn't something that happened overnight. But gradually, I started connecting these dots. And I knew it was time to start doing something with this education. It took me to action. I had to start doing something with what I had learned. And what I did was a net worth statement. I'd never heard of this thing before. Let me see a show of hands. How many people know what a net worth statement is? Yeah. How many have done one? Yeah. Well, you're ahead of me if you're under 25 years old. Because I had never heard of it. But I did it. I took my assets, stuff that I owned, like a car, a home, stocks, bonds, cash, and I subtracted my liabilities, my debt, that home loan, the car loan, credit card debt, student loan debt. And that provides me my net worth. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. So I did it. I did my research, found out what the value was of my stuff, put it on paper, subtracted, and I screwed up. I didn't have the right data. So I went and did my research again. Well, the research was right. So clearly, I don't know how to subtract. So I went and did my math again. I didn't make a mistake. I just did not like what I saw. You see, I was broke. I was living that American dream, and I was broke. I was worth a minus $2,000 some odd dollars. I was 25 years old. I'd been earning a paycheck for 6 straight years. And I was broke. It didn't feel good. But it was a big moment in my life. I had to figure out whose fault this was. I could have blamed my parents. They didn't teach me about money. I could have blamed the school system. They didn't teach me. I could have blamed the state or federal governments. They didn't teach me anything. But I knew, based off what Mr. Gibbons had taught me, this was on me. I am the answer. And that means I have to take responsibility. This mess was mine. And if it was going to change, I had to change. And I did. I went over to that financial advisor. They had one in Germany to help me. I went into his office. I said, sell that high commission, high fee mutual fund. And he said, whoa, young man, calm down now. And as he started his spiel, I cut him off. I said, sell it, I'll be back in a week. And I left the office. And when I shut that door, it felt great. I was empowered. This education I was learning was changing my life. Now, I was still broke. But I could tell I was moving in the right direction. I could feel it. I went home, called that life insurance agent in the States, told him to sell that high commission, high fee policy that I didn't even need. He also tried to talk me off the ledge, and I cut him off. I said, sell it, send me what's left. Well, because of those commissions, there wasn't much left. Next up, I thought I'd go ahead and read the fine print on that car contract. I never really looked at it before. I was just focused on that monthly payment. So I look at it. I'm paying 13% on a 5-year loan with an extended warranty that I was also paying 13% on. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Then I looked at my other debt, credit card debt. I read that fine print. I was paying 20%. I was starting to figure out why I was broke. It was starting to make sense. So my next step, I had to put together a financial plan. These books told me this. I had to figure out my long-term goals, my short-term goals. I put them down on paper. And one of those important short-term goals was getting rid of that debt. So I stopped buying all the extras in life, focused only on my basic needs, and I took all of my extra money and put it towards my debt. And gradually, over a matter of months, I paid it off. But I had to keep doing. I had to keep doing. I was not going to fix my financial life overnight. It was going to take months, years, maybe decades. But I could tell. I could feel it. I was on the right path. So, I got rid of my debt. I felt good. I was moving forward. But I had to learn to avoid some of the major pitfalls, the craters in life. Just say no. Say no to materialism. Yeah, materialism. This is going to feel a little uncomfortable. This is where we take stuff and form our self-image based off that stuff. The new car makes me successful. The designer clothing makes me beautiful. The right phone or computer makes me popular. That big home on the hill makes me somebody. Those are the messages you receive every day of your life. Since most of you were 1 or 2 years old, it's natural for you to feel that way. But it's an illusion that will lead you in a direction you do not want to go. They're feeding you an American dream that will bring you debt and the stress that goes with that debt. Just say no to materialism. And just say no to the salesman. Never go to a financial advisor to be educated on investments. Never go to a life insurance agent to be educated on life insurance. Never go to a car salesman to be educated on the car business. You knew that, didn't you? All three of those salesmen have one thing in common: a conflict of interest. They're earning commissions based off the products that they're providing you, that they're recommending, that they're pushing. It's very easy to fall into that. During this semester, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you how you don't need those salesmen. Push them aside. Because guess what? They're not that special. When we take away their coat, their really lovely coat, we see that they're not that special. We take off their tie. We see again that these professionals that are very pretty and have wonderful images, they're very human, just like you and me. Take off their shirt. Yeah, because that's what we have to do. We got to start tearing these people down and seeing who exactly they are. Right? They're not special. They're just like you and me. And when we take away this lovely clothing, we even take off their slacks. When we get down to the bare bones of it, they're human, just like us. They're not special. They're not. You are just as smart, just as capable of taking care of your own finances. You are. Charles Gibbons was right. And I'm here to translate that message to you today and throughout this semester. Now I'm feeling a little bit of a breeze, so I think I'm going to pull. Okay, that's better. Just say no to those salesmen. You don't need them, and you don't want them. We need patience on this journey, which is what I'm describing right now. This was my financial literacy journey. It's a journey that you can find and fit into your life. It works. Not in a classroom, but in real life. Been there, done that. But it takes patience. I'm not here to tell you how to get rich fast. I don't know. I know how to get poor fast. But I can help you to achieve wealth gradually over time. Which is what happened to me. At the age of 45, I did my net worth statement like I had done for the previous 20 years. And I started that journey 1989. And I retired at the age of 45, worth over $1 million. Now, was it because I was the smartest person in the room? No. My professors would tell you I'm not. I promise. I didn't even have a college education. It took me till year 49 to get that, and that was a struggle. No, it was my financial IQ that had risen so much that provided me the opportunity to make good decisions. Day to day, month to month, year to year decisions. And my ability to act on those decisions changed the course of my life. But it's just money. Now, you've been sitting and listening to me for quite a while. I'm giving away $200 tonight. What do you say we make it $300? Under somebody's table is a $100 bill. If you're sitting at that table, it's yours. Look under the table, directly under you. Oh, we've got one! Congratulations. Don't worry, we still got $200 to give away later. You see, it's just money. I'm here to tell you that just having a lot of money, it's not it. I could be sitting on some island, chasing after some very pretty girls, drinking my favorite beverage. That wouldn't be what feeds my soul. What financial freedom does is it gives me opportunities. Opportunities to live the life of my dreams. It gives you the chance to live your dreams. Not somebody else's version, but yours. That's a big deal. Financial freedom provides us that opportunity. Being stuck in debt and the stress that goes with it does not. You'll end up living somebody else's version of what your life should look like. Don't let that happen to you. Because if we're living our dreams, which I am, because there's no other place on earth I'd rather be than right here, right now, with you. This is my dream. Because it gives me a chance to give. Whether it's giving $100, or it's giving up my expertise or my experience, maybe my time, maybe my possessions, and yeah, even maybe my money. Giving helps us reach the top, the summit. You notice we've already passed money. Money is not the summit. Happiness. That's what I teach. I teach financial happiness. That last one, it kind of goes hand in hand with giving. You see, I don't believe you can find happiness without learning how to give. And I don't believe you can give without finding happiness. They go hand in hand. They belong together. That is my journey. Your journey is going to be different. But you can fit it within that. It's doable. It works. During this semester, I'm here to help you. I'm here to provide you an education that will serve you today and long into your future. This is the schedule. I'd like to ask, please pass both, one out to each side. She's going to be passing out one of the a form for you to sign, if you would. Please sign up for the newsletter as well as the updates. In other words, please give me your emails. And by doing that, I'm going to be sharing with you the schedule so you know what's coming up. And again, I mentioned the newsletter. Every Saturday morning, I'm shooting you a newsletter that encompasses the whole world of money. Take it one at a time. I've been working on that newsletter my whole time at UNI. So it's been going quite a long time. So I'm catching you up. But it's free. All of this is free. Nobody is selling you anything. brings me to the pink wig. Some of you know me as the crazy man in the pink wig. If you ever go to my Facebook site, you'll see that. You see the crazy man in the pink wig. So, of course, that means I got to put it on. You women got some work on
At least he's putting on and not taking off, right?
Yeah, that's good. So why do I don the pink wig? Because there's many ways to wear the pink wig, right? You can wear it on your back. You can wear it on a hat. You can wear it on your leg. You can wear it on a shirt, a coat, scarf. I wear it on my head. It signifies my personal belief in my abilities to take care of my financial life. You see, it signifies something very important to me, and I hope to you. It says I am the answer to my financial life. I'm in control. It also rejects a culture that does not serve my soul. Now, what culture am I talking about? That materialistic culture that takes you down a deep hole of debt and stress and unhappiness. I reject that. And if that means I stick out from the crowd, okay, I'm willing to do that. I am. If that means people point at me, say, ooh, look at that weird guy. I'm okay with that too. You see, I don't want to be part of the crowd. The crowd is broke. The crowd is stressed out, trying to live paycheck to paycheck, hoping they have enough money to pay the bills at the end of the month. I reject that. And that's the message behind the pink wig. Have the courage to walk your own path, to be your own person, a financially free person.